Hello there, Angelica. How are
Hi,
you today?
fine. How are you?
I'm good. You want to talk about the weather first?
The weather, of course. Let's hit
Yeah.
the topic to relax ourselves a little bit at the beginning. The weather in Australia is awesome as usual at this time of the year. Sun is shining, and if you can see even blue skies from the window. Not that I'm
Oh
trying
yeah.
to annoy you and the rest of the Europe right now.
Yeah, I'm in Bulgaria right now, and it's kind of probably like 5 degrees, 10 degrees, something like this, and there's like no sun. But okay, in April when you come, it's gonna be sunny, so I'm excited about that.
Sort it out for me, please. Sort out the weather. Let it be
You know,
spring. Let it be real spring weather, please. That's what I'm counting on.
I'll do my best. I'll do my best. But yeah, I'm really excited you're gonna come and we're gonna meet again, and you know that you're gonna come for this workshop so that the world can see more of you, because like we need you. We need you here. And yeah, I'm super excited about the workshop. And so first, about for our audience, I want to ask you, yes, about a little bit about your story. I know you've told it thousands of times, but another time it's going to be now, probably, hopefully. So, if you can just share your story, how you started, like from your childhood, and yeah, what brought up, what made you be where you are now.
Okay, thank you. I'll try. Yeah, I'll try to in a short lines to say a little bit of why I do trauma work, because I often joke, because sometimes people they say, there's so much of the healing practices out there and so many practitioners, and I'm aware that I definitely didn't go into this field for money. It's really like hard thing to go to work on people's trauma. So to do trauma, emotional trauma recovery, just to earn the money. So I think there are easiest way to get the money than to do all this work. So how I got to this work is definitely from my personal experiences of attracting all that trauma myself, abandonment trauma to be specific. So I was an orphan child who grew up in the orphanage and in the foster family, where I experienced lots of abuse, physical and emotional abuse, for, let's say, around 16 years of my life, something like that. I never know the years. I ran away actually from the foster family. I left the family when I was 19. I enrolled law university actually. So my whole life actually I was working on a mental aspect, and I just wanted to be the best student out there. I wanted to get the best job because that was my only escape of that abusive family. But then I just realized during my law studies that that's not it. There was something missing, and then of course I thought I'm so lost, and I left for
Mm.
London to improve my English in order for me to become a successful international lawyer, to have a better English. But then at there, I just realized that's definitely not it. And the place, the city, the country just wasn't enough for me. I needed to stay out. And this is like the prominent theme in my life, that now I keep coming back to Europe, and I like it and I feel at home. So it's not anymore running away from.
Yeah.
But I definitely need to be surrounded with international energies, and also speak different languages. Even like I'm still trying to like get back to my Spanish. So that's also one of the things. So living in an international environment was very important to me, and I only realized that when I left. And it was really hard then to go back to the small and a kind of closed mindset, one way of thinking. But also then I was so far away from the trauma place, so I could have actually worked on it much better, because I was also in a healthy environment. And when I did all that, I also enrolled in different studies. I was physically, emotionally, and mentally ill, which of course I wasn't aware of. at the time, of course, I wasn't aware of. Nobody is. Nobody even knows how bad they are, how bad they're doing until they didn't come out, if they come out, on the other side and when they heal. So I was also fat physically, like I had 20 kilos more than I have today. And I became a personal trainer, ironically, personal trainer and nutritionist. And I almost like I became a semi-athlete. So I competed in many different races, like insane endurance races around the world. And I became super passionate about sport, about physical aspect of ourselves, and about food and nutrition. And because I realized I didn't even know what to eat and how to eat and stuff like that. So of course, as I came out and I proven to myself and to the world that it's possible to be physically ill and not move my body, to become like super duper passionate athlete with amazing body and feeling great in their body. And so I became a role model to many people, and I wanted to teach that. But because, after a while, the physical aspect for me, I was bored with, there was something else missing. And I realized that it's psychological aspect, which I needed to heal and work more on myself first. And because I was now afraid of studying psychology for another 5-6 years, law university already killed my brain cells enough. And I was also worried that
I can relate.
I know, you as a student. So finished student. Congratulations, you just finished yours.
Oh, that was a long journey, but yeah, continue. I don't want to talk about university anymore,
It's done and dusted. Yeah, good on you. Well done. So then I said, what is the closest that I can study that it doesn't, take so much energy, time, and money for me to invest at the time, which I was very much afraid that I'm not going to continue, because when you enroll something as big as law university and then you don't come to the end, you're just like, you don't want to enroll in anything serious as that. So I then said, what is the closest to it? And there was lots of life coaching at the time. And I said, I don't see myself life coaching. I just want something more, but I didn't know. But coaching was of the interest. And then I was already in Dubai I arrived there as a personal trainer and nutritionist. And then I signed up a 2 years course, which was business and corporate coaching and mentoring training course. So it was like 2 years diploma. But there was too corporate for me again, which was great for me. It gave me that business aspect because I was I'm very kind of real when it comes down to like where you are, where you want to be. And corporate world is all about that. So tangible goals. But then something was still missing. So I did also NLP, so neuro-linguistic programming. So I reached like master level there and a master in hypnosis. But still certain depth was missing until I didn't come to Till Swan and her emotional trauma recovery, her completion process. And that was like really something at that point of my life, which was closing that circle. And the rest is history. So now at the moment, currently, I'm super passionate about emotional trauma, about healing our wounds, about seeing these constant circles, repetitive circles that we're struggling with in our life and we cannot get out. And I tried it from a physical aspect. I tried running away from it into sports. I tried also being so smart and studying all that. So mental aspect. And until I didn't kind of come emotionally there and I started from emotional aspect to heal myself, I wasn't feeling this joy. And we just said before this recording that I feel so much joy in life. I really am blessed. And I just want this. I want more joy in my joy always makes you more joyful. I want just more joy in this world. And because I have had so much suffering, I have been there myself, I live this. It's not learned. It's not that, I didn't need training for it. I have training and I have books behind me and trainings and certificates, but my life was the biggest teacher in that. So I really feel, And I don't call myself teacher. I just, I'm a helping hand to people who want to get to their joy.
Yeah, and I love that. I love that, and I want to make it clear. So you went through all the shit with no excuse, with like through all the trauma, and then I think like in terms of like there's so many spiritual teachers out there who are just like, yeah, just like spiritual work and healing work, but they're missing the physical aspect, and also they have like a lot of resistance regarding money. So I want to just mention is that you even like bring people, you know, you make them alive, and you make them you just push you push my boundaries regarding money, regarding abundance, regarding like even what's possible, and regarding even, yeah, because you're so joyful. Like I have so much intensity right now of emotions, like, and so much love for you and appreciation, because you are a living example that a person can live in abundance, that a person can be through so much trauma, and heal. And obviously, I mean, we all have like our little things that we learn on the way, but you are just like a truth bomb, and you just cut off the bullshit. And you always tell me, and like I'm super appreciative that you always tell me like where I'm going wrong, and you're like, okay, Eva, you did shit, and you need to look at yourself. And this is regarding abundance, regarding my like emotional life, regarding how I treat other people. Yeah, you're just kind of like the full package for me. I'm honest, and because I've been doing this journey for more than like 8 years, just like going to different kind of spiritual healers and like even psychoanalysis. And yeah, so yeah, I'm super excited you're gonna come to Bulgaria. And I
Thank
wanted
you.
to ask you more.
Thank you for
um
this praise. Yeah.
no, but it's honest.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, how has your work evolved through the past years? Because you've been going all around the world, finding yourself, and doing so many workshops around the world. And I just wanted to ask you more about that. And what's the difference between the people in the different parts of the world? Because you were from Europe, you went to like, I mean, you've worked around 13 years in the Arabic countries. You were in Dubai, living there, and now you're in Australia. You went to Israel recently. So if you can tell me, please, how your work evolved through the years and the difference between the different parts of the world.
Yeah, thank you. This is a very interesting question because actually this is the first time that I got asked this question, and because I actually just earlier on I mentioned that I had this urge to travel and to leave my home country, and as they say, oh, you're running away. But now I'm not anymore in a place where I am running away. And people, they want to, like, I don't have attachment. So people from Europe, like my best friends or my family, they often say, oh, come back home. And it is
Yeah.
home there. But it's like interesting that I very, very quickly, I feel home everywhere where I am. Because when they say home is where your heart is. And it took me a long time to work on these abandonment issues, on my wounds. So what I attracted, was more abandonment and more isolation. And it's been a long, long, long journey of being alone and convincing myself that, this life is great, I'm doing great, posting, my, I don't know, travels on Facebook. But now, in the last couple of years, I can say that it's, even like, let's say last year too, it's been more truthful. And now, literally, I got stuck, like, as if I can say, with the like personal, but also I work online with people from all over the world, wherever I am, the online sessions. I got stuck in Perth, which is like not the first place that people they think of when they think of Australia. And Perth, they say, oh, it's so small, it's like a village-like. But I got stuck here because the community, because of the people in the community. So there are more beautiful places. For example, the place that I'm going to go now, like soon, is going to be New Zealand, literally for a visa run, because my time in Australia came to the end. Like, I need to get out to get in as a tourist, to get back in. But basically, it's people. now the connection with people makes me feel at home wherever I am. And as you said, I was in Israel, and it's interesting that I've been in Israel after living in Dubai for 11 years. Quite a big contrast. And I don't want to be going in political and religious issues here. But I also have this urge to connect. I'm a Croatian who lived in Belgrade, Serbia for 8 months, who have best friends from Serbia, who was in relationship with a Serbian. I have this urge of connecting people of divided nations, of opposite sides. And so this is like personally, work-wise, and personally and work-wise, what I don't see, there are no big differences when you work with people healing the trauma. There's no difference between a woman that I work today from Melbourne to the one that I'm going to work tomorrow from Netherlands, to the one that I'm going to work, day after that from United States. The trauma does not
It's the same.
doesn't have the language. I actually recently worked with a woman with my very broken Spanish with a Google translator in Spanish because she was so drawn and she wanted to work with me. And it was an amazing experience. And I also work with some Italians with translators, and you can just see that the trauma and the emotions, they don't have the language. That's why they say always music or the art. Anyone can understand it. It's very universal.
So around the years, like, did you sense that when you were in Dubai? Like, what was your experience in Dubai?
Of work or of everything?
Work related.
The fact that I left Dubai after 11 years was I missed the depth. But I wasn't ready yet for the depth when I arrived. So I was much younger. And so my experience now, when I look back, what I see, like the most beautiful and the most important thing that I got was getting rid of my limiting beliefs around abundance. So when you were saying about this earlier, I'm now pulling people on that abundance. I don't feel guilty for living abundant life. I feel like I can have, I deserve it all. You deserve it. Everyone deserves it. But I needed Dubai, the rich country, city, emirate, to be living in and working in and realize, I can have it all. There is money out there. There's no shortage whatsoever.
That's so important. That's super important.
Focus on your talent, focus on your work. Don't focus on your competition, on whatever, just focus on you and your creation, your talent, on your juice, on your joy, on your, what are you gonna deliver in this world? And once when you have that, and also you have healed wounds around your worth, because these two come together. Knowing that your worth and your talent is worth, then you can sell it. Is that product or services, whatever. So Dubai, so this was on one side. On another side, Dubai the lack of depth in Dubai, because in Dubai, however you feel, you always have money to kind of make yourself feel better. So they say it's easier to cry in your Mercedes than to cry somewhere else. But I literally left because I needed more depth, and Dubai, I could not grow. On emotional level, what I needed to go, work with the trauma, work with the emotions, even heal myself, but work with other people, I could not do that. There was no room for that, because I always joke that people, they don't come to Dubai for emotional healing. This makes me laugh, because it's not the first place that you think of for emotional healing. So my time was up, and I gained from Dubai so much. And in any way, I don't, look at Dubai as a bed, as people say, oh, how could you have emotions and all this when you're doing healing and then live in Dubai? Dubai is an awesome place to be for the young entrepreneurs, anyone who wants to succeed and have a really powerful platform to succeed from. Because Dubai is, like they say, anything is possible. That's their kind of motto. Anyway, they have they have the shadow aspect, but we're not going to go out there. It's not the interview about Dubai. It's not the video about Dubai.
No, it's just I wanted to, it was kind of like a double question, but it's just super interesting because you've worked with and you've been in really different different environments, and that's super important, and that's what I want to, show to people who are like gonna go to our workshop in Bulgaria. And I want to, if you can please also share what they're gonna learn, what they're gonna take from, what are they gonna work on, the different topics in the workshop in Bulgaria in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. I want to also touch maybe like if this is like, what people like to hear, like you said. So before that, I lived in London for 5 years, and Dubai was 11 years. And then I lived in Spain for a couple of months. I lived in Israel for 2 months. I lived in Serbia and Belgrade for, for 8 months. Now I've been in Australia for 2 months. I'm going to be here for until spring. So I have lived in a various countries, and also like love different like cultures and different nationalities, different flavors of the soul. Different flavors. The soul is one, and then we have a different flavors, as human beings. I love in Bulgaria. I've been once, and I connect with you. Like you're the person who like I got the most connected in this world. So you could be from anywhere, but you're from Bulgaria. So I'm really, really excited to be in your homeland. Really, really excited about that. And what people can expect. Well, I could say now, like if it's about selling of the workshop, it's a shadow work, it's inner child work. And I'm always, before and after, I'm always saying the most important thing what people unfortunately are so starved with in today's world is connection. Connection with themselves and connection with another human being. And what connects them is the pain that they share in a group exercise, in a pair exercises. People today, they don't connect so easily. I often say, like, look, children, or even animals, even pets, so even trained animals, when you let them off leash, I live very close to the beach here, they just run and they get to know each other, they sniff each other's butts, and they're so friendly, and it's so natural for them to connect. What we, as human beings, what we created is very, very isolated world. And what is the worst about it, we have denial about it. We are so detaching and dissociating of how lonely we are, or at times, or generally. I lived mostly in the cities. It was very interesting, but I attracted the cities where you can, of course, be the most isolated. You can feel the most abandoned. This was my trauma. London, my goodness, we'll never forget the times how lonely I was on the streets of London in the cold, in the rain. I was almost homeless at some point. And Dubai, the same. So many lonely moments in the city where you have it all. But so what I basically am creating in my workshops is very much place where people do meet. First, they meet themselves, real themselves. As you said before, I'm not taking no prisoners, so I'm going to pull people on their own crap, so be first truthful to yourself. How are you really feel in your life right now? Yeah, truly. Put a hand on your heart, feel it. Look at yourself in the mirror. Look at the other person in the eyes. It's very sad that we can't even look ourselves in the eyes anymore in the mirror, and the other human being, anyone, the close person or the stranger. So this is how much we're hiding stuff inside, stuff that is not resolved. So we're going to resolve it, and we're going to, so after all the connection and all the work, the workshop is not over. So I'm giving lots of homework, and people are going to take this process home, the completion process, which we're going to work the second day with. People can work on their own. So they're going to have, manual. They're going to pass through it to the practical, but they're also going to have a theoretical stuff to take home, and they can do this. They also have a connection to work with me or with the people in a group who they met. They're going to meet at least one person they're going to connect very close with, but usually it's much more than one person. So like their soul family, their soul friends that they can work together with. They can connect when they don't feel good, and
Yeah.
they can work with this tool also to help their family members or the surroundings. So they take it home, and they make this world a better place after the 2 days of the workshop.
So yeah, it's gonna be intense 2 days,
Yeah.
definitely.
Quite intense.
Could you please share more about the completion process? Like, what is the completion process? Because you're going to pretty much use it a lot, and in the 2 days.
Okay, I'm just careful about time, so we have just don't want to over talk because we're gonna have to soon finish. Completion process is emotional healing technique. So again, like trauma recovery technique, one of the techniques. Again, when I say one of it, so it's not the only one and not the best one. Whenever I do, I fully stand behind it and believe in it, but I want people to know I never sound definite with anything. I don't want people to get dependent on any tool, me or any tool that I'm selling. Yeah. So this is one of those techniques which it goes very, very deep. So it's all about feeling. It's not about talking. So the main difference between mainstream working on a trauma would be more in a talking terms. Yeah, we would talk about
Mental.
feel. It's more mental. It's describing it. So here, people are describing it, but then they have to feel it. They have to make time to go inside of that feeling, and their bodies are full of sensations, full of extremely strong emotion. Actually, you know what? Because you've been through it, maybe it's better instead of me selling something that I work on. Maybe like you say, in a nutshell, how did you experience? But in a nutshell, just because we really need to finish in like 2 minutes time.
Okay, so, whew, so that's uh, I think this is one of the deepest, definitely the deepest emotional uh, healings that I've had. And so when I was really, really triggered a couple of years ago, I called you then, and then okay, we have to like start the process. We really need to use this moment to like when shit hits the fan. We really need to use this moment. So I'm thankful that we did. So pretty much you trigger me with you just ask me like, okay, what's going on inside myself? Where am I feeling the feeling? And then we go down, and then you trigger me with words so I can like even like feel it more authentically, and you provide me space like with the safe space so that I can really let myself go until the point where I'm literally laying and just like crying or laughing, or it doesn't matter, until the point where the feeling is just not there anymore. And that's I will never forget the moment where I just couldn't cry anymore, and then like slowly I just felt like a baby, slowly, just like, even, I don't know, it was like a dopamine rush or something. I don't even know what. It's just like I was laying and I just realized, okay, I'm not there anymore. I'm not in the like trauma. I don't need to relive this traumatic experience again. And I'm not a victim anymore. And I'm safe, and I'm powerful, and I'm and it's just 2 minutes. It's a really short time to explain this,
Yeah,
but
but you
yeah,
said it well. So it's reliving the trauma, revisiting the
yeah,
trauma, revisiting the wound, and why we
yeah,
need to revisit, because we're repetitively going into the same cycle in life, and we're
hmm,
not getting certain things, and we physically, mentally, we are manifesting. We want this, and we know what we want, but we're not getting it, and we have the same negative emotions, the same triggers, ongoing over years, the same things happening with our spouses, with our kids, with the closest parts of our families. So basically, when we relive the trauma, we realizing why we're doing this, like we on emotional, on experiential level, we feel all that. So this cannot be described. That's why these techniques are not possible to describe, because now I'm trying to paint a picture to the mental mind, to the mental aspect of ourselves. So this is why it's very hard. But I think that we should just maybe wrap up and invite people to this workshop. So it's going to be in Sofia, in Bulgaria, on, if I'm not wrong, because there's so many workshops, is it 28th and 29th of April?
Yeah.
Saturday and Sunday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. I would like to say to people that, don't book yourself for anything before and after. Don't have family weddings, something crazy like that on that weekend, because it's pretty intense. We might run after 6 p.m. and you might be just run down. So just take this weekend as retreat. Just take this weekend for yourself. So don't book yourself with any crazy activities before and after, especially not after, because it's going to take a while for all this to integrate after the workshop itself. Thank you, Eva, so much for this conversation.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the interview, and hopefully I'm going to see you soon, and I'm super excited. And hopefully, people come here because Angelica is freaking awesome. I'm serious about this.
Thank you. I look forward to see you soon in Bulgaria. Thank you so much. Ciao.
Ciao.